Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would get one of Brooklyn's feedings on tape. For you weird, sick people that like watching snakes devour mice. I'm just playing. I'm just joking. Trust me, I love it too. It's awesome. There's a little, it's a fuzzy mouse, even though it's hard to tell. It is a fuzzy mouse. So she eats one fuzzy every week. She soon will be eating two fuzzies a week because they're starting not to leave too much of a bulge. So I may have to up her prey size a little bit. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get her out. She is in shed phase. They say some people say not to feed a snake when they're in shed because they may not eat, then you kind of just wasted the food. But I have not had a problem with her eating at all. She has never refused a meal. There was times she ate when she wasn't shed, and she was able to digest it just fine, and she shed just fine. So she is not. She is yet to refuse a meal, so she should be fine. She hasn't shed yet, but I can tell she's gonna be shedding soon because her skin is kind of dull. We're just gonna get her out. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. Since she is in shed, I want to make sure she knows I'm here. I'm just going to be really gentle with her. It's okay. There we go, baby girl. It's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's okay. There we go. When she's in shed, I'm usually like extra gentle with her and extra patient because there is a time where they're in shed and they can't see because they tend to have like the shed over their eye cap, so you just want to make sure you're really gentle. And the second reason they say not to feed a snake, when they're in shed, is because there's a period of time where they can't see. You want to avoid trying, getting bit or anything like that. But she hasn't nipped at me. Like I said, she's been fine with it. And we're just gonna go ahead and put her in here, her separate little feeding tank. Go ahead in there, Mama. You okay? Here we go. Yeah. So she'll soon figure out why she's in there. And let's just wait and see. She's so pretty. And I have her right in the light so you guys can really see how big she's getting. She's getting really big. When I got her, she was like really small. She's probably one of the smallest ones in the store, which surprised me because I'm like, wow, I thought, corn snakes were supposed to be, like 14 inches long. She seemed a little bit smaller than that. But she's getting big. She's getting pretty up there. She's 16 and a half months. She'll be 2 July 15th. So she's not as thick as I like her to be, but she is pretty big, so that's good. See, she feeds just fine. Let me shut up and zoom in so you can see. Stop shaking the camera so much. There she goes. It usually doesn't take her that long to eat the fuzzy, so don't worry, this won't be like a 10 or 15-minute video. She usually devours it. She's like always hungry. Another good thing too, you just have to, not a good thing, but what I meant to say is another tip is you just kind of have to know your snake. Like I said, they do advise you not to feed your snake when they're in shed. Like I said, with her, she's never refused a meal, and there was a couple of times she was in shed and she ate just fine. So you just kind of have to know your snake. Just don't, just do what feels right to you. And also, just because she's eating when she's in shed doesn't mean your snake is going to eat when your snake is in shed. Every snake is different. So the best way to tell is to just try to offer food to your snake. And if the snake doesn't accept it, then just don't try to force it. Just wait a week and try again, or wait until after the snake sheds and try to feed it again. But yeah, you can tell she's in shed too because you can kind of tell her eyes are cloudy, and also her skin is very dull. Like if you see, her skin, you can kind of tell, you can kind of see her bright colors, but they're kind of dull. When you look up close, you can kind of see how dull they are. That's kind of how you know they're in shed. And with some corn snakes, not all, but with some, their eyes turn blue. when they're in shed. Hers just get really cloudy. And I know I had a snow corn snake and his eyes got really cloudy too when he was in shed. Another thing to watch for when you're feeding a snake is regurgitation. Now, the way she just ate this mouse, how she ate it feet first, they're actually not supposed to do that. They're supposed to eat it head first, but when they're young, they don't know any better. Most of the time, she eats the mouse head first. Every now and then, she tries to eat it feet first, but I was kind of distracted by the video, so I couldn't really change it. It's no big deal when it's a smaller prey size, like a pinky or a fuzzy, but when they get up higher in the prey size, like let's say it's a hopper or a small adult mouse or a small rat, you definitely want to make sure they eat head first, because the reason for that is if they don't eat head first, let's say they eat legs first like she just did, once they get to the arm area, the shoulder area of the mouse, it gets to be too wide for them to swallow. So by that point, they'll probably regurgitate it and try it again, try to eat it again, or just won't try to eat it all. And regurgitation is really dangerous for a snake. So you want to make sure that it eats head first. That's why you're kind of supposed to offer it with some tongs or something head first, so it knows to eat head first. Like I said, she rarely ever does this. She rarely ever eats it feet first. She usually eats it head first. But probably the reason she did it is because she probably can't see it right now. So, like I said, it's fine when it's a smaller prey item, like when it's a pinky or a fuzzy or a small fuzzy or something like that. You know, it's fine. Even a small hopper. But once it starts getting up into those bigger mouse sizes, you want to make sure it eats it head first. She's eaten it like that though before, and she's been fine. I haven't had any problems with her regurgitating anything at all. But like I said, it's just something to watch for when they're eating. Let me shut up. Talk a little bit too much, and there it goes. It doesn't take her long at all to eat fuzzy. A good rule of thumb for feeding a snake, they say a good rule of thumb is to check the thickest part of your snake's body and match it to the prey size you're trying to feed it. So like the thickest part of her body, your snake's body would usually be the middle parts. Let me zoom out. It would usually be that part right there is the thickest part of your snake's body. So you want to get a prey size that is about the same size as your snake. Or it could be, I think they said it could be a little bit bigger or a little bit wider around, than the middle part, because snakes can stretch, but that's generally the rule of thumb. You want it about as thick around as the thickest part of your snake's body. Another good way to know if it's time to up the prey size. The best way to know if it's time to up your snake's prey size, and this is the easiest way to know in my opinion, is, okay, you see how she's working it down right now? Just wait until after the snake completely worked down the food to its stomach. Wait until it's completely like not pushing down any longer. Once it's done that, the best way to tell is if you can clearly see a bulge. Like if you clearly see the bulge, like if it's very obvious, if you can clearly tell that your snake just ate, then its prey size is good. Keep it at that prey size. But if you look at the snake and you can barely even tell that you just fed it, even though you know you just fed it because it doesn't have a big bulge, that's when you know it's time to up the prey size. So like with her, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's almost barely noticeable that she just ate. Because as you can see, it looks just like, she just looks thick, It's hard to tell that she just ate, even though we know she just ate. So that means it's almost time for her prey size to be up. So it's almost time for her to be on 2 fuzzies a week instead of just 1 fuzzy. And then eventually a hopper, and then 2 hoppers, and then eventually a small adult mouse. You usually never have to get past a small adult mouse or a small rat for a corn snake. They usually don't need, medium or large rats. That's more like pythons. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope I didn't talk you to death too much. And then I usually just, I don't take her out. I know some people take their snake out physically. I don't do that because I don't want to get her to throw up. So I usually just set it back in here, the whole thing, and then just let her go out on her own. Yep, and then she'll eventually go out. Thank you guys for watching.